What's up, man?
The hell are all these?
Nothing, dude. Dude. Nothing, man. Sit down. Just sit down, man.
Boys both have the virus? Are you sure?
We're not just sure, we're HIV positive. Will you stop it with that? What part of this is funny to you? Kyle, we need to try to find out... What part of being infected with a deadly disease do you find funny? I don't think it's funny, Kyle. Then stop saying you're not just sure you're HIV positive. This isn't funny, AIDS isn't funny, dying isn't funny, so shut the fuck up! Well, excuse me, Kyle, for trying to keep some optimism, you know? Sometimes when things seem their darkest, you just need to try and stay HIV positive. But if you want to be so HIV negative all the time... Knock it off! Right now! This isn't funny! At all! Are you sure? Yes! Are you HIV positive?
You just want to take your brow pencil and you kind of want to sharpen up the edge of your brow and you'll get that nice... The fuck is this? God damn it. Oh my god! What the fuck? I was almost ready too. God damn it!
What's in here?
Stop.
I think we could work it out. So what are you doing now?
Get that spoon out of my fucking face.
Hey, Vic. Look behind you.
Said his body showed clear signs that he was killed by belladonna.
The porn star?
The poison.
So you put lemon in this?
Yeah.
Oh, I can barely even taste it.
So no, what prevents the series from getting stale is the parts system. So there's 8 parts right now, and each part features a different protagonist and plot. So each protagonist is always nicknamed JoJo. That's where the name JoJo's Bizarre Adventure comes from. And the protagonist of part 1 is Jonathan Joestar, and his part is about his rivalry with his foster brother Dio. So now Dio winds up using this ancient stone mask, which we'll find out about in part 2, and he uses it to reject his humanity and become a vampire. So his battle, Jonathan's battle between good and evil is the focus of part 1. So in part 2 we jump to Jonathan's grandson, Joseph. Now Joseph has to learn the same breathing techniques that Jonathan used in part 1 in order to defeat vampires, to defeat what are called the Pillar Men, the people who invented the stone mask, right? So you see that it's still tied back to part 1. Sorry, she left like 5 minutes ago. Is my drink almost done? I'm getting really thirsty. Then you see part 3 features Joseph's grandson, Jotaro Kujo, as the main protagonist and JoJo of the part. And who's the main antagonist, you might ask? Well, it's none other than Dio, the main villain from part 1. That's right, you think he dies at the end of part 1, but he comes back and is the main villain for part 3, showing how all the parts kind of tie together. So what is interesting about part 3 is that they introduce a new battle system. Instead of martial arts, they use something called stands. Stands are like a visual representation of superpowers. So, for example, there's one that can control fire, and it's like a half chicken, half on fire, and it can control flames, but no one else besides other stand users can see it, so they think it just manipulates fire. And essentially, Dio unlocks his stand, which causes all of the Joestars to unlock their stands. But Jotaro's mom isn't able to handle it, so she falls sick, and they only have 50 days to kill Dio to save her. Is my drink ready? Like, it's been like 20... So from there, Part 4 onwards deals with Dio's legacy after his defeat in Part 3. So Part 4 has the protagonist Josuke Higashikata. You might be wondering, how do you get the nickname JoJo from that? Well, apparently one of the symbols in Higashikata can be read as Joe, thus making him JoJo. You might also be wondering who he's related to make him a Joestar. Well, he's actually Joseph, the protagonist from Part 2's illegitimate son. And when Jotaro Kujo, the protagonist from Part 3, goes to Japan to inform him of their relation, they both discover that stand users are running rampant all over the small town of Morio, where Josuke is from. And from there, they discovered that there's a serial killer stand user who erases all evidence of his existence that the cops can't track. So Part 4 is dealing with that serial killer and the fact that he got his powers from stand arrows, which grant stands that Dio granted them. So Part 4 is dealing with the legacy of Dio in that way, and you see how it ties back to the other parts. I'm so thirsty. Is this, like, you've made this drink a couple times.